Ni hao ma, my skating people. Asher and Brenda back in your face with another That Figure Skating Show recap. It was Cup of China, the ultimate stop on the Grand Prix series, and it did not disappoint.
No, it didn't. And there was so much up for grabs because you have to think there were still 10 of 24 spots still available to the Grand Prix final, which everyone was jockeying for position to get into that big event a couple of weeks from now in Grenoble, France.
Yes, and it's been an exciting year because some people that you thought would be there kind of faltering a little bit.
Yeah.
But coming up, Canada secures 2 medals at this event. Amber Glenn makes it a double gold Grand Prix series for the first time in her career. And we talk about who made the Grand Prix final and a wonderful conversation with Piper and Paul about the season thus far and beyond.
Let's start with your favorite discipline, I would assume, ice dance.
Yes, it is.
The Italians come up big, just edging the Canadians in this one. So Charlene Guinard, Marco Fabri finish in first place. Silver goes to Marguerite Lejoie, Zachary Laga, and Christina Carrera and Anthony Ponomarenko of the United States take the bronze medal. Let's look at the Canadians first. They were second after the rhythm dance. They were second after the free. They finished with that silver medal. What did you think of their performance?
I thought that they really created a moment of emotional intensity and really showing off their maturity that they've grown. We've seen them since little kids, and they're just become such a firepower and just, you know what? I actually predicted that they were going to beat the Italians here.
Yes, you did.
They didn't quite do it, but they were very, very close, and they actually beat them in the technical element score in this program. Here, they got big GOEs on these twizzles that are so close. There's barely even room for their hand to extend out. That got them big levels. Their stationary lift at the end, level 4s across the board. And I felt they really created a moment in the arena at Chongqing. And just to put that into perspective, last year at Worlds, the Italians beat this team by 8 points. Here,
Wow.
They were barely ahead of them by like 4.
Yeah.
If that. So although they didn't beat them here, I think they're quite primed to maybe overtake them as we go into the Grand Prix final or even Worlds,
Well, what I was really interested to see is how they were going to do in that rhythm dance, because you remember back to Skate Canada a few weeks ago, Zach fell in the rhythm dance, and I know, boy, you talk about a guy that was bummed out after that one, right?
Yes, and they had a wonderful change of choreography. I don't think we have it in the slow-mo here, but they did a nice little skid with their blade, lifted up the ice, and then used it as hair gel. I really loved that kind of movement. And, they've actually done this program before. Back in their pre-novice days when they're about, 12 or 13. So I always love a callback, and especially as you mature and grow, you want to come back to these programs, and they did it so very well. So here they are talking about that.
The rhythm dance is us in Powers. It's a very fun program. I think we're both very happy with the choice of music. Yep. And fun fact, we did it when I was 12 and he was 14. It's one program that we really liked when we were young, so I'm really excited to do it older.
Adorable.
Okay, he pulled out the same suit that he wore back then. Okay, maybe he let out the seams a little bit. But no, that was great. I mean, the exact outfit, and it really especially suits Zach's on-ice personality,
yes,
right?
Yes, for sure. And I think that that as they continue to move throughout this season, I think it's just going to get better and better. And imagine telling your little self that you're going to the Grand Prix final again, and you could possibly challenge for a medal. So very sweet to see that.
So let's take a look at the 6 teams that are going to be going there. Of course, Piper Gilles Paul Poirier, Madison Chalk, Evan Bates, the reigning world medalists, but Lila Fear and Lewis Gibson, the only teams to win 2 gold medals at this year's Grand Prix series, and they truly are giant killers because not only did they win those 2 gold medals, they beat Madison and Evan, world champions, Piper and Paul, world silver medalists. Now, this is a team that finished just off the podium at the last Worlds. Wow. What interesting times we live in, especially in the ice dance.
Yeah, for sure. And of course, we can't go on without mentioning Guinard and Fabri of Italy. A much better outing here. What a difference an outfit can make. They've dropped the unitard. They've gone for more classic look, still the chrome and silver, and they really reworked this program to allow it to breathe and open. I felt that at Cup of France or the Grand Prix de France, it was very, very tight. Apparently he was sick. This lift did not go up as smoothly like this in France. But still, they lost levels, like I said before. They were very, very close to Marjorie and Zach in this free program. Level 1's on the 1-foot turn sequence. And although they won this event, a little mistake there, of course, on the Twizzles, but even though that they won this event, they are very far behind Piper Gilles and Paul Poirier and Madison Chalk and Evan Bates, who've hit 128 in this program and 129, and they've just eked out a 124.
Well, they're trying to push themselves with this program as artists as well, right?
Yes, and we can appreciate that. They've been at it a long time, so we want to see them really do that, but I'm hesitant with this program. It was definitely better. I liked it more here.
You don't think it's a vehicle for them to make some noise at the Grand Prix
I'll
final?
say that this is a good year to do it. The Olympics are next year.
Right.
I'll
Okay, can we talk about the women?
Yes.
Should we go there next?
Absolutely.
Okay, Amber Glenn. She's been spectacular this season and continues on with that excellence. She wins, one of only 2 women to win 2 gold medals this season. The other is the reigning world champion, but Amber Glenn with a gold medal. Mona Chiba, she finishes in second, and then Kyeon Kim of Korea, she pulls up from 4th place after the short to 3rd place overall, and she finishes that way in the free. Amber Glenn, just a beautiful free program that she skated very, very well, close to perfection.
One of the best skates I have ever seen her do. And this was an exciting event. She was only 0.02 of a point behind Mona Chiba, so she had to bring her A game. That triple axel was minty fresh and clean. In the short program, it got called a Q. Triple Lutz combo gets her huge GOEs. All of her jumps were just absolutely spectacular. This program was choreographed by Catherine Hill. It looked very calm and measured, and this is a different Amber Glenn. She's talked about working with a neurologist, learning to be kinder to herself with the self-critique, acknowledging that, even here on this triple loop that looked a little tight, had a lean. She even said to herself, I didn't quite attack. So even there, she's still striving for more and more and more, and there is still room to grow. Second triple flip was downgraded. Step sequence was only a 2 and a 3. So I think that we can see even more from Amber Glenn and, as she goes up against Kaori Sakamoto at the Grand Prix final.
And I wondered what was going to happen with Amber, because there have been reports that she hurt her ankle in practice, and you wonder how that was going to affect her, but obviously not. She's dealing with the anxiety so well, and I can't wait to see the showdown at the Grand Prix final and see where she lands.
Yeah, it's going to be very exciting. Remember, she's one of the only women who's going to be at the Grand Prix final attempting and nailing the triple axel day after day after day, competition after competition. So it will be interesting to see how they match up.
Mona Chiba, she skated very well. She was first after that short with that little bit of a lead, finishes second in the free to Amber Glenn. They kind of reverse positions there, but she had couple challenges.
I absolutely love watching Mona Chiba. She nails 2 late in the program triple Lutz combos. Here's that triple Lutz double axel. and then she goes right down the ice for another triple Lutz double toe double loop combo. And she was on fire. It looked like that she might have taken this event, and then an unfortunate fall in the step sequence, just like
Is that fatigue or?
it just looked like a mistake because she doesn't often look that tired in her programs, and kind of this is what happened to the other silver medalists in the pairs and in the men's event. Would have won the event if it had not been for a fall in those step sequences. You know, sometimes those turns will get you, those edges.
Oh, yeah. As Kurt Browning always reminds me, the ice is slippery, right? Okay, and there was a Canadian in this women's competition, Maddie Skeesis. She performed so well at Skate Canada, finishing 5th a few weeks earlier. How would this outing compare for Maddie? Here she finishes in 7th place.
Yeah, you know, she was 8th in both segments of the competition. Two mistakes in the short program. And then, you know, the free program looked very, very promising. First, 4 opening jump passes were absolutely perfect. Triple S, triple toe, triple flip, that triple loop you just saw, triple sal, but then her brilliance started to dull a little bit as she goes to her second triple Lutz. It comes a double, as well as this triple loop sequence doubled, but is able to add a double axel onto this. And, you know, she just wanted to go out and skate 2 clean programs. This was a really tough event here. We had world medal winners, and of course, so many people vying for the Grand-Prix final spots. But there is still so much more that she needs to do to grow. She loses levels on her step sequences. You know, we're usually looking for 3s and 4s. She gets 2s. She's a beautiful spinner, but sometimes she'll, you know, maybe short on rotation. So these are little points you're leaving here and there. And if she wants to remain competitive, go to World, you know, probably strive to maybe reach that top 10 so that we get Canada can get 2 spots.
Consistency, right? She was so great at Skate Canada. She was looking for that similar kind of program here. But anyway, she won't be going to the Grand Prix final. And we do have a blockbuster lineup. Look at that. Kaori Sakamoto, Amber Glenn, the only 2 women to win both of their Grand Prix competitions. Of course, Kaori, the 3-time world champion. And I wanted to see all Japanese, but Amber, you know, broke it up. But no, good for her. Yeah. But 5 of the 6 competitors are for Japan. Wow. What an embarrassment of riches. It's like, oh my gosh, you guys.
Like, I don't even know how the Japanese Federation decides who's going to go to World for continents. Like, look at the depth. Some of these women who are making it to the Grand Prix final haven't even medaled at their nationals before. That's how deep the talent goes. Yeah.
Okay, we'll talk about another deep Japanese field. Of course, the men's competition. Shun Sato, he ended up winning. It was interesting. Just a couple of points separated him and Mikhail Shadarov of Kazakhstan. Then Adam Charles-Fa of France finished in 3rd place. So he'll be going to the Grand Prix final as well. But for Shun Sato, he was a Skate Canada silver medalist. He said he really tried in China not to think about the Grand Prix final. It made him really, of course, nervous, realizing just how high he had to place to get there. But he got the job done.
He got the job done, and this is his first gold medal on a Grand Prix event. He absolutely slays in the short program in lavender. Free program was a little bit of a different story. Quad Lutz, he lands it, looked a little tight for the height, but is able to eke it out. The quad flip turns into a double. Failure to launch there, but he gets back on the rails. The caboose is back on the rails for a quad toe, triple toe combo. Another quad toe gets huge GOEs, plus 2 more double axles and a lovely step sequence. His choreographer is Guillaume Cizeron.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
Yeah, he knows that he has to work on his second mark. And just like, you know, the women's event, you are competing against the other Japanese men to make the world championship. And, you know, Shoma Uno's no longer here, so he's trying to fill that void and compete alongside Yuma Kageyama.
Yeah, and that's the knock on him, is kind of those PC marks, right? Not necessarily the technical. Well, Mikhail Shadorov, he was second after the short program. He won the free. Wasn't perfect, though, but he came so close to winning that gold medal, just 2 points back.
Again, another little tiny fall takes someone out from gold medal contention. That was his. And this was an even better skate than his previous at the Cup, at the Grand Prix de France. We don't have it here, but that triple axel quad toe, the second time he's landed it. He, of course, made history by landing it at the Grand Prix of France. Now, here is where he could have won but lost it. He gets a fall counted in his choreographic sequence, pretty much loses that entire element plus the mandatory -1, and of course the second mark has to go down, but he ends up winning the free program and comes away with another career Grand Prix medal.
Yeah, what a shame, hey?
I know.
I mean, if I would have been looking in the stands, you might have thought, oh, that's part of the routine, part of the step sequence. But yes,
it could have been. Honestly, I think it was a little harsh, but I get why they did it because it could have gone either way, and I wouldn't have been mad. But he puts his both hands down, so he gets the fall. But I have been saying that this boy is the dark horse in the men's event. So do not count this man out, even though he's not going to the Grand Prix final.
Yeah, he's the first alternate, though. So if anything happens to the other 6. Anyway, we should mention Wesley Chu of Canada. He was there. He was practicing. And Thursday, he injures himself. We're not sure what exactly the injury was, but serious enough that he had to pull out. What a shame, going all that way and then having this mishap.
Yes, and we wish Wesley the quickest and speediest recovery as he prepares for nationals.
Okay, who is going to the Grand Prix final? We finally find out all of the men, and we see, no kidding, Ilya Malinin. He won both of his events. So did Yuma Kajiyama. And then we see the rest, Kevin Adams, Shun, and Daniel Grasso. So this is going to be I think, a slugfest between Kajiyama and Malinin, don't you?
Oh, absolutely. And of course, Adams kind of still is in the mix there. He's inconsistent. He didn't have great performances here, but is able to make it to the final. It's going to be...
and Kevin, anyway.
Yeah, Kevin, of course.
Right.
Super excited to see him at the Grand Prix final after the
Paris competition. Okay, the Canadians land on the podium. Leah Pereira and Trent Michaud, they pick up the bronze medal. A lot of redemption after what happened at the Grand Prix of France earlier. Sarah Conti, Niccolo Macchi of Italy, they win their very first Grand Prix event. Fabian Haas, Volodin, the reigning world bronze medalist, they take the silver medal. But let's talk about Leah and Trent. And a year ago, they won the Grand Prix of France. This year, man, were they disappointed. Their free did not go the way they wanted to, and they finished in 5th place. And that really cost them early a trip to the Grand Prix final.
Yes, but a much better outing here. Let's see how they captured the bronze. This beautiful performance Descent of a Woman choreographed by the team at IM in Montreal. The twist only gets a 2. It was a 3 in France. They had talked about how they improved on their levels. Huge lean for Trent on that triple toe, was able to save it. That second double axel unfortunately doesn't get all the way around. Sal's a little bit of a problem there too. They get all level 4 lifts, especially this one, that group D lift, wonderful changes of position. And then they head for their first throw, the throw triple loop. This throw has been giving them lots of trouble. And there again. But the throw Sal, we won't see it here, was absolutely gorgeous. This again, a level 4 lift for them. But what I really want to talk about is their growing appreciation for the character work, the connection to each other, just even the way that she's extending out her fingers, caressing Trent's face. This is the part of their skating that they have really, really improved. And, Madison Hubble, who's been working with them, has done a great job at really bringing out that passion, that
Right.
intensity that you need for a piece of music like the Scent of a Woman.
And we have to realize they're relatively
Yes.
new pairing,
Yeah.
right? So it takes time to get that chemistry on the ice, and they look great. The team that won, this was an historic win for them. Their very first Grand Prix victory. Last season, especially at the World Championships, a disappointment for Conti and Machi because they weren't able to get on the podium. But here they've really been turning things around this season.
Yes, and they won it with this beautiful, sentimental program to Papa Can You Hear Me, dedicated to both Sarah and Nicolo's fathers and grandfathers, opening up with that beautiful level 4 split twist. Second double axel on their combo is a little iffy. It is a step out for Machi and hands down on the ice for Conti. All lifts are level 4. Their reverse lasso coming up. And both throws absolutely gorgeous in that triple sow. She has a confirmatory fist bump. And I love the speed of rotation that he has on his lifts. They maybe don't travel as far as other teams, but just perfection. And I really love their intensity on and off the ice. Here's that throw triple sow, the fist bump. She knows she's done it. Yes. And the ending position too, just prayers up to their father figures that they have lost, and praise to all of their hard work. And although they hit second in the free, that buffer that happened in the short program, that 2 point, it saved them.
And this was a personal best free score, even though they finished in second. They also got personal best total score. So that's what you want to do. But they, as you said, only 2 points ahead of the Germans. And the Germans skated very well. They won the free skate. And, they were very close, obviously, to getting it completely done. But let's take a look at the reaction by the Italians after they realized that they won.
Towards a personal best. Their personal best is 1:35 from the Grand Prix final.
Sandra Conti and Nicolo Machi earned 138.64 points in their first stage. A new season
They wait
best.
to find out
They
the good
have a
news.
total score of
Second in the free skate, but
2.05 points and are in first place.
Well, goal for Italy again. And the award for the best kiss and cry reaction goes to Sara Conti, Nicolo Machi, and Barbara Lewoni, their coach.
Well, Fabian Haas and Volodin, they skated really, really well.
Yeah.
And, they too looking for a spot in that Grand Prix final. They had the free skate of the night for sure.
Yeah, they had the free skate of the night, cleanest of any of the teams, but where they lost it was the short program. Let's see it. Just like all the actual other silver medalists, except for dance, everyone, like I said again, was super close to winning their event, but an unfortunate fall in the step sequence is what got Nikita. They had also losses on levels. Here's that fall. Inside counter.
How do you explain that?
Just a little bit back on his
Right.
heel and then just got off. Also in the free program and the short program, they lost levels on this death spiral. In the free program, they only got a level 1. That also hindered them and kept them away from winning. But they still scored the coveted 140 that a lot of these pair teams are looking for. That's where you want to be in the hunt for world medals and the medal at the Grand Prix final. So they're right there. They'll just have to go home. They have a week, clean out and iron some things out before.
So they had a silver and a gold medal finish on the Grand Prix Tour, and that's why we're luckily going to see them again in the Grand Prix final. Let's take a look at the teams that are going to be there. As you see, the Canadians, Deanna Stiletto-Dudek, Maxime Deschamps. They won, actually the only team to win both of their Grand Prix events. And then you have the former world champions, Miura and Kahara from Japan. They will be there as well, but they didn't win both of theirs. They have a gold and a silver. Any surprises for you in this grouping?
The Georgians, but if you were paying attention to
Yes,
year, they were doing double duty, killing it on the junior Grand Prix and junior world circuit, and then just going to senior and just being like, how about a top 5 finish for us?
There we are. Yeah, no, they look really good.
Yeah.
They watch out for them. As far as the Canadians are concerned, 3 teams are going to go, 2 in ice dance, 1 in Paris, of course. Piper Gilles Paul Poirier, Marjorie Lejoie, Zachary Laga, and Deanna and Max are going on for the Paris. And so Canadian hopes rest with the reigning world champions. But we spoke with Piper and Paul a little bit earlier, and we kind of asked them, okay, what are you going to change your mindset, heading into the Grand Prix final? Here's what they had to say.
Not a lot of changes, which is quite nice for this year, but we have one lift that it's every year that we always seem to just kind of change over time because we want to, again, get the execution up, which is our last lift. We changed it between Skate Canada and Finlandia, and again, same thing, it wasn't quite right. We weren't ending in the exact same place, so we've made a little tweaks with that, but I think overall, we gotta skate that 60s program. It's so different, it's so unique, it's so us, and it's winnable, and we know that. We just have to enjoy it, get our power up, get our energy up, and just hold nothing back. And I think that's what we're really looking forward to going into next week. It's just again, having fun and being confident, knowing that, because I think we can get so in our head of overthinking, we got to get the turn, we got to get this, we got to get that. But I think there's something so pure about just being it's fine.
Yeah.
Let's just do it better,
make
it better. And I think that's kind of the mindset that we're going into next week with.
You know what? This is the category that I'm most interested in because sometimes ice dance can be really predictable, hey? And this time though, I don't know. It's really, I think four the 6 teams could win the whole thing.
Honestly, I kind of agree with you. I think the top 3 will definitely try their best not to let it happen because they're definitely on their toes now after such an unpredictable. But again, it keeps ice dance exciting. Often we're like, oh yeah, it's gonna be 1, 2, 3, blah blah blah, unless someone falls down. But this season has been so unpredictable, and I'm excited to see what happens at this Grand Prix final. Okay, and of course, you can watch all the Canadians competing at the Grand Prix final in Grenoble, France. Starting Thursday, December 5th on CBC Sports and CBC Gem. And of course, we will be bringing you a final preview this Wednesday. So tune in for that. That's it, Brenda. We did it.
We did it.
All 6 events.
Can't wait to disagree with you on the Grand Prix final.
Oh.
Yeah.
But lovingly.
Lovingly.
You won't yell at me, right?
I'll be gentle.
Okay,
I'll be
thank
gentle.
you so much. I'm a delicate figure skater. Thank you all for joining us for these past 6 weeks. We will see you at the Grand Prix final. Bye-bye.